Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction for Boku no Hero Academia chapters 362, 363, and 364. Again, I'm going to be trying to do 3 chapters a video, keeping the videos a little on the shorter side, but that's just so I can continue to try to post them more often. But if I get to like the end of 364 and I've got to go further, then I will. But yeah. Like if I'm like, oh, I can't stop reading, I gotta go, yeah, I'm excited to get into it. I really am excited just because, like I mentioned last time, there's still so much that I'm behind on. I'm still like a good 20 plus chapters behind. So the fact that there's that much left and the series hasn't even ended yet makes me really excited, because I'm like, I don't know what else is going to go on. I don't know what else I'm going to see here. But yeah, either way, we left off with sort of the big three standing off against All for One, and All for One has this little spark of Shimura Tenko left within, which is going to be interesting. Does that mean that Shigaraki makes a resurgence? Does that mean that somehow Tenko Shimura, or Shimura Tenko, is rescued? We'll have to see, I guess. But either way, Sun Eater was about to fire this huge cannon. Let's just get into 362. We start off with the cannon shot. If I fail now, everyone in this coffin is utterly doomed. And we cut to flashbacks of Fat Gum and Kirishima and Tetsu. Stand tall and proud, Tamaki. Taking care of biz as usual, dude. I know for a fact that you've got some real special talents, and Mirio. That blindingly bright and shining praise, like treasures from them to me. And then 362, light fades to rain. Up to now, I could never fully accept it. I was crushed under the weight of that wealth. It just felt easier to be down on myself. Thank you, everyone. Sneaky little pest. Because now, that crushing weight, vast hybrid, plasma cannon, makes me stronger. Get wrecked. And we have it blowing away the arm. You just don't get it. But he's continuing to do more like body horror transformation outward. And Mirio comes in to hit him with a punch to the side of the head. Really? This is... Okay, nope, I'm stupid. Okay. That's the plasma cannon firing. Okay. Yeah, that's the plasma cannon firing out of the coffin into the sort of city. I thought Mirio had just punched him and sent him flying like a beam out of there. And I was like, if that's the case, then they've just taken him out of the controlled environment and he's free in the city. But no, never mind. That is not exactly what's going on. But now we have this crashing, and it's a 2-page spread. We see burns on Nejire. How? And then it looks like the finger growth... Okay, it's going through Mirio. Think about it. Remember All Might in his prime? Would something so pathetic have killed him? Come on, use your heads. Interesting. And we see Best Jeanist and Bakugo. Baku, look after the others. Gotta win. Right, Izuku? No, you mustn't. And, jeez, it looks like he just blasts Shigaraki's head off. Right side. Yay, he just rushes past him, using the explosions to propel himself and then hitting him straight in the face. Right side. And he dodges. He saw it coming and dodged it. Quirk, explosion. The sweat glands on his palms produce a nitroglycerin-like liquid that he can detonate, but the cluster upgrade he devised came with a side effect even he himself wasn't aware of. The act of saving up sweat into launchable beads put a terrible burden on the glands in his palms. With his sights set on victory, he kept storing those beads in the glands until they were forced to find other exits to leak out all over his body. Explosions all around his body gave him even more speed. My whole body hurts. Battling through the pain, fighting while trying to spot the enemy, or enemy's ticks and habits. This is basically the path you had to walk. Yeah? So Izuku, can I still catch up to you? How is he pissing me off so much? This random extra who doesn't even possess one for all. And it looks like he's thinking of, maybe is that the second user that everybody always says looks like Bakugo? Why am I suddenly panicking? Go to hell. And we have the burst again. Oh? And it looks like some sort of vestige around Bakugo. Alright. So, thinking back to when we finally met, I was pretty much a punk, going through some stuff. And now, it looks like I've missed my chance to ask. And I think this might be All Might's vestige. And he holds out the card. Man, I wanted an autograph so bad. And it looks like an explosion by his heart. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep up with the art. Like, you know, I've read Hero Academia from the very, 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 very beginning. And I have had this complaint pretty much throughout. It's not really a huge complaint, but it's not the cleanest in terms of art, like, say, something like Berserk, where you can see every movement and you're like in combat, okay, this person's moving like this and reacting like this. We jump from like pose to pose or action to action in Hero Academia so much that it can be really difficult to follow the action for me. It looks like an explosion near his heart. And then we're seeing him fire toward Shigaraki's midsection, it looks like. Miriko coming down with a kick on top. Tamaki and Nejire attacking from the top as well. And Mirio coming in through the bottom and his hand going through Bakugo's arm. Okay, so interesting. It seems like this panel above the shot of the heart might not necessarily be an explosion. It might be, it looks like Shigaraki's maybe hitting him directly in the center of the chest as he's firing the shot at Shigaraki's waist. We've had clear skies over Kanto, Chubu, and Kansai regions, but according to the volunteer weather report, and then we see his body tumbling and Bestina's chasing after him. A sudden and drastic rise in temperatures disrupting the weather patterns. Looks like rain. You were just tracing the earlier fight. Why'd you think you could win? We came prepared for today, with a perfect Demon Lord body, ideal for the final boss. And then Bestina's looks over. Understand yet what's coming now? This is our story. The villain's tale. That kid of ours is no fan of rain. His heart. And then we have reactions from Monoma and Mirko and Genist, Mirio and Aizawa. And we have the crumpled All Might card by Bakugo's body. And I'm going to say that I've been poisoned by One Piece. Bakugo's an incredibly important and like sort of main central character, so I'm just like, they'll probably revive him somehow. It's shonen. I feel awful saying that. But I'm like, hey, he's probably not dead. Like, hole in his chest where his heart should be, hey, he's probably not dead. And also just the fact that, like, I don't know. And if he did die here, I don't know. Has it been that good a fight compared to, like, previous fights or character development for Bakugo? Not, like, really. I mean, I felt like his development in, like, the past fight against Shigaraki back during the Liberation War or whatever it was a bit better. I feel like definitely his fight with Izuku was much better. It's like, is this, like, really that... I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh on it. Maybe I'm just, like... I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just not feeling this final war as much. I thought the stuff with the Endeavor and the All for One, like, main body stuff, or I guess would you say Shigaraki's the main body now? The original body? I felt like that stuff was really, really, really compelling. But the stuff before it with Todoroki and, or Shoto rather, and Dabi, I was just kind of like, nah. I was kind of meh on. Like, I didn't think it was bad, of course, but I wasn't like, I didn't think it was like incredibly compelling. And I feel like some of this has been really compelling, but this stuff with like this group and the Shigaraki body is just kind of, to me, again, it has not been bad. I'm not saying it's bad, but it also hasn't really blown me away or anything. It's just kind of okay. So, I don't know. It was just kind of okay. And Bakugo might be dead, but again, maybe this would hit me harder if I hadn't been poisoned by Shonen, because I'm just like, he's probably fine. He'll walk it off. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see though. We'll see. Maybe next chapter, the chapter after, we'll have more context. So let's go into 363. I feel so bad because I feel like people are going to be so angry that I'm just not bawling and upset and beside myself. When Bakugo's a character I'd like really legitimately like and all, I'm just sort of like, okay chapter, okay fight. I don't think he's actually dying. This last page though, the art is like, the art of him quote unquote dead is like pretty like well done though. But yeah, either way, moving on to 363. All right, let's read 363. I made a pledge that I will achieve absolute victory every time. We're taking this 4-0, no casualties. The strong don't settle for anything less. No way. It wasn't meant to go like this, says Monoma. And then we just have a blank white page? Is that just me? This can't be. We have genist over his body. Those who defend, those who violate. No pulse. His heart is ravaged. If nothing else, until Midoriya shows up, we'll protect everyone. If you do kill off one of your most important characters, and like your most popular character like this, I mean, props for like really going out there to Horikoshi, but also like weirdly small. The death feels weirdly small for such a monumentally important character. Crazy. No pulse, his heart is ravaged. If nothing else, until Midoriya shows up, we'll protect everyone. No way. Damn it. This time, he's truly dead. Since you took a back seat this round, you turned out to be quite a letdown, Eraser. Now then, this utter monster. Who's next? And we have the others. It looks like maybe Tamaki trying not to be blown away. Mirio still moving through the ground. And Nejire is down. Alright. Who wants to be another present for Izuku Midoriya? And then, back then, if I only could have murdered you. If I'd only been one hop faster. And then we have Mirko with, it looks like her prosthetic arm is destroyed and the stuff is wrapped around her. She's biting on to the flesh maybe? But yeah, she's been grabbed by all of the bits. We see it in the panel before tearing the arm off. Don't let it eat at you, Rumi Usagiyama. There were so many heroes around at the time. You were hardly the only failure. Heroes are a rare breed now, and the instant you had no choice but to throw the little rookies onto the front lines, you condemned some to die. You took the initiative and gave it your best, but you didn't come with enough people or plans. And now we see Todoroki and Ida, so we're cutting back to that group. Given how this worked out, it's actually great I fought you first. Experiencing something yourself just hits differently. Intuition helps when getting the idea of how it works. Right before you put me on ice, I took a chance and mimicked your big move. Run, Shoto, says Vernon. Am I doing it right? Shoto. So Dabi, I thought would be totally done, is still moving apparently. And it's been so long, I don't remember. Who is that beside him? The helmet almost looks... It's not Manuel, because Manuel's doing the water thing, right? Says somebody else. I think maybe another one of Endeavor's sidekicks getting burned to a crisp by Dabi. Onima. Okay, yeah. Onima. No. It wasn't just sheer firepower. This whole time Toya studied and trained his quirk on his own. My brother's honed instincts are bolstered by his hard work and obsession. Skeptic? Oh? Ahem. I'm busy. Don't pester me, Mr. Daddy Issues. You want Endeavor. He's trading blows with All for One at the Gunga Villa ruins. The eager Izuku Midoriya knew that you can't give villains time to prepare. He was correct to rush the timetables on all of this, even if his efforts still would have been in vain. And now we see this, like, Freedom Army or whatever satellite with a Skeptic up there. The fools at my company tried to cut me like any other loss. They never did have any brains in those vacant skulls of theirs. Who do they think built this network anyway? Or claiming authority is child's play to me. Those intellectual lightweights fled abroad in hopes of keeping the company going. Those dullards proved that that conservatism taken too far is the death of critical thinking. I, on the other hand, can adapt. While promoting Tomoda Shigaraki's interests, I shall see Redestro's desires realized across the globe. People will wield their meta abilities as equals. No other factor will determine who gets ahead in this world. All will know true freedom and anarchy, marked by the absence of so-called heroes and villains. We've been getting these errors, and we're seeing back at the cage, someone's trying to hack into the system, and we're seeing Mandalay. I almost called her Shino, just calling her, like, give a name. All for One. Go on, do as you please, as will I. The dregs of the old order mustn't survive the revolution. Namely, those who preach and cling to teachings of past generations. And we see shots of Genist and Endeavor. They are unnecessary in the new world to come. And we see Todoroki's family. Behave yourselves, boys. What if a villain were to show up? And we have the class and teacher from before. Don't worry, Sensei. We've got 5 weenies on our side. Bakugo and company as well. They're gonna win for sure. And we have Fuyumi's reaction. And we have these 2 guys in the background. Interesting. Gunga Mountain Villa ruins. My side was entirely on the defense during the last great battle. In fact, I hear you and yours kept them from accomplishing much of anything. This time, not so much. And then, All for One. And we see his face being restored. Heroes are those who defend, while villains violate. Behold as we plunge headlong towards our dreams. Honestly. So, if you stuck around with the video and didn't hate me after my reaction to last chapter, this chapter was incredibly good. This chapter was really good. I mean, do I care that much about what, like, Skeptic's big speech and all? No, but it gives, like, credence to what the, like, villains are doing and everything and their mindset. But this is interesting, using, like, Bakugo's death, and I don't feel good about Mirko right now, but using them to show just how dire the situation is, how Shigaraki is dominating now, and how we see that even after everything they went through on Todoroki's side of things, that Dabi is still up. And, like, he's charred. The boy is broiled, but he's still up and fighting and moving forward, trying to just take the world out with him. And then at the very end, just seeing that despite all of this stuff that's gone on with Endeavor's side of things, that All for One's original body is still up. And not even still up, but his, like, face is regenerating, and I'm not sure what the deal is with that quite yet. So it's just insanity right now. It's, of course, like, you know, Izuku has to be Anime Jesus and come in and, like, save everybody, but it's like, how? How even does Izuku deal with this? How do any of them deal with this? Like, is this just an L? Like, we're in a situation where I'm like, how do the good guys win at all at this point? Like, even when things were, like, on their side, the bad guys were split apart from each other, and they had their plans to take them out. Shigaraki can't even use all of his quirks. Even in that situation, they still lost. Like, this is not good. So I have no clue how this is going to be resolved, but we do get to read one more chapter. That one was really, really good. We do get to read one more chapter. So I like, if that is a death for Bakugo, it does... I'm going to stick to that feeling like a weirdly small death for such a major character if he is dead. But I do like what it was used for here to show how bad things are and how much worse they're getting. But again, if that's all true, I'm like, again, we have over 20 chapters and the series isn't over. So it's like, where do we go? How does this happen? Like, unless heroes from other countries start coming over to help en masse, or unless we have another time skip, if we just take the L, run away from Japan and come back later, have a time skip, how does this work? How do they succeed at all, even with Izuku? But I guess we'll see. Let me go ahead and read 364 before I end. I'm truly baffled as to where we go from here, or how any of this is going to work. But we're starting with a flashback, because we had the black borders. Shigaraki stole those refined samples of the chemical the Shie Hasaikai developed for destroying quirk factors. It came to me and I wasted no time in trying to replicate it. Turns out the substance originated from a person's quirk. Ain't that a hoot? Like you're always saying, fate brings everything full circle, so this is Dharma, right? Or Dr. Ujiko. During the refining process, I started focusing not on the deleter rounds, but on the quirk's original effect. And I've got to say my doomsday theory was right on the money. Oh, is it turn back time bullets? And that's how they're restoring the original body of All for One? So if he has original body and Shigaraki body, why does he even need Shigaraki body anymore? You only get one shot, one and done. Assuming things go according to plan, okay, so he was only able to make one, maybe that's why. Assuming things go according to plan and you get to walk free again, I'm betting it'll help make your dream come true. Alright? And, just in case I'm not around when you get out of the big house, I'm leaving it all in this safe house, along with the data. Alright? Allow me to speak my mind. Your voice, your eyes, your smile bring joy to my heart. And if I had one wish, I'd ask that your own heart be filled with hate. Interesting. Be proud, Endeavor. And he starts reforming himself. I never thought you'd be the one forcing me to play this card. Again. So it's getting even worse, because now we have Prime All for One on top of all of this. I guess some people could complain that it's okay, Naruto Final War constantly bringing people back to life stuff, but still, and they just happen to make one bullet and the bullet can turn back time to heal him, but still, nuts. I don't know, as much as you could complain about it being a bit much, I think it's really exciting. So, I'm definitely willing to give it a pass. He's rejuvenated. His body's back to prime condition. And again, if not prime condition, we saw what he did back at Kamino against All Might. It's again, if he can do that against All Might, how on earth does anybody even touch him? He's rejuvenated. His body's back to prime condition. Look, little Aries power. Says, why am I forgetting? Tokiyami Fumikage. Why was I forgetting his name? This is bad. Hawks rushes in. My body feels as light as silk. And then we have this. It looks like he's going down to the ground. Huh? What? And then, my quirk. I'll take the cape too while I'm at it. Fighting in the buff is hardly my style. What a cool design, though, and just snatching quirks. This bit of rewinding will be the end of me. I'm ultimately doomed to vanish now. But, so is he, because he took it, is he Benjamin Buttoning? Is he just going in reverse in general now? but my dream will live on as I pass the baton to Tomura Shigaraki. Okay, see, that's good. That's a really good drawback to it. The only task is to make it like so he's permanent now. He's stuck reversing, basically. The only task left to me is to rescue him from your brazen trap. So if you don't mind, a massive yet suicidal power-up. Endeavor just needs to deliver one more solid blow. So, your dream, huh? Something beyond stealing one for all? I still gotta buy time. Mind filling me in, for future reference? It's simple. I'm quite influenced by comics. The world always fears the big bad villain. Why do you think that is? Because he does bad stuff? And what counts as bad stuff? In a world teeming with myriad cultures and values, bad stuff would be an act that universally makes the masses turn up their noses in disgust. An act which thwarts the future they envision. So I intend to thwart the future of the whole world. That's all I've ever wished for. And we have Washington, D.C., United States of America. And then we have the sign, "We are all for one," and a bunch of destruction. This is the moment to strike. If we don't definitively eliminate Tomura now, the U.S. will face the danger he poses. And how would we rein in this crisis? Unlike most others, our nation has already taken half a step into the red zone. And you're to blame, Timothy Agpar. Oh yeah, we saw Admiral Agpar before, right? Because that was like a joke reference before when we saw, What's-Her-Face, Stars and Stripes, something like that. According to reports from the Quirk research agencies, Tomura is already beyond anything humanity can stop. An unknowable, untouchable entity, capable of just about anything. You faced that monster and made it clear that we're his enemy, via Star and the missiles. So you're saying we should appease him instead? There's already a standoff between the world's developed nations as we wonder who will be the first to earn Tomura's trust. Thinking about how we should let him rule over us? That's insanity, only to minimize casualties, to feel him out before a more decisive strike. Give that monster even an inch, and he'll take a mile. We'll be neutered. Tim, this is for our nation's future. We won't have a future. Your position's forcing you to take this stance, yes? Easy there, Mr. Agpar. And they all draw weapons on him. Do you know what Star really was fighting for? Why do you think Cassie followed in her idol's footsteps and died for it? I'm sure you haven't really forgotten. Children, observe adults as they grow. Adults in turn support the children as they pass it forward, and so on to the next generation. Heroes always have wielded their power in the name of that cause. And we have Ed Shot walking up to where Bestgenist and Bakugo are. Ed Shot? Yes, I'm the ninja hero. There's no realm I cannot infiltrate. I have ample experience invading the bodies of others. This is no time to lie down and die. Okay, so like I said, he's just going to revive Bakugo. He's going to fix him. Mirako, do not go quietly. And then, so pointless. Should he tear you asunder, sink your teeth into his flesh. Because Ed Shot the hero will not let this pass. This stopped heart belongs to a life we can ill afford to lose. I'm not too late. I shall replace what's missing and make it pump. Kamihara, there's no coming back from this for you. Just so. I leave the rest in your capable hands. And we see a flashback of Ed Shot and Bestgenist. And again, I don't think him being revived this way is bad. Because again, it takes what we saw since the beginning of the series, what this whole speech was about. Like, and it's weird that Agpar's the one giving the speech, like the speech that Bestgenist gave during the Liberation War, where a part of it is heroes giving to the next generation. So Ed Shot dying to keep Bakugo alive is like something that makes sense and carries on sort of big themes of the story from the beginning. Just so, I leave the rest in your capable hands, Club President Hakamada. And we have the flashback to them. Nimpo, 1,000 sheep pierce zenith. I will be the boy's heart. And he turns himself into threads. Alright. And that's where we end. I think that's a good place to end, because while I was critical of the first chapter, I really like where it went to. It's funny, whenever we bring the real original All for One body back into things, things start getting better. Like I said, the original fight with Dabi and Todoroki, I was like, okay, it's okay. But then we got into the stuff with the group that was fighting against All for One, and I'm like, wow, this is really, really good. This is really compelling stuff. And then we get into the stuff with the Shigaraki body, and I think, wow, this is good. This is better than the Dabi Todoroki stuff. I mean, I didn't think it was, like, it was okay. It was good. I didn't think it was as good as the stuff we were getting with the Endeavor group, but I was like, wow, this is solid. Kind of a weirdly disappointing death if it was a death for Bakugo. Just a weird, small death for such a major character. Again, there's a part of me that kind of would have been like massive respect for killing the character, you know? Killing your most popular character is nuts. But the writing-wise, I don't think it would have been a good enough death, and I like the way we continued on for that. Chapter 363 was really, really good. Chapter 364 was really, really good. And if Bakugo gets revived this way, like I said, it carries on the themes of the story and is just, I think it's good. So I like where we led from there a lot. But yeah, either way, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you did like the video. Comment down there to tell me what you thought of these chapters, my first thoughts and reaction. Subscribe for more Hero Academia, much, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, just ask and I can give you a link. Again, if you would like to subscribe, there's going to be much more Hero Academia stuff. More manga, anime, webtoons, much, much more. Yeah, if you want to help support the channel, you can do a super thanks down below if you want to, or you can become a patron or a channel member. For channel members, just hit join down below. For Patreon, it's patreon.com/Haku with the tubes, or a link will be in the description. It's hugely appreciated. Thank you to people who are patrons and channel members. Thank you to chosen regulars. Evan Holly, Magical Girls, FR Nono, and Huariyun, Cheriton Student, David Langstaff, and Slayer Candidate SG. Thank you so much to them for supporting, and thank you all for watching. Either way, that's it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all next time.